Folks, the problems for these condos hasn't even begun. I'll get into that, and then the latest home prices and insights for condos across the GTA for week ending September 4th, 2024. I'm working with condo buyers, and they started off wanting to buy pre-construction. And when they look at what's available pre-construction wise, they look at the floor plans, they look at the price per square foot. All of the condo buyers I've worked with that started this route, pre-construction, are buying resale because the value is so much better in the resale market right now. So they can get more for their money. And if we bring it right down to basic cost per square foot, you could buy a unit at, say, $1,500 a square foot, or pre-construction, or you could buy at the same unit that's fairly new, a building that's 1 and 2 years old, at $1,000, $1,100 a square foot. Big difference. So my pre-construction buyers are buying resale, and they have the ability to make that choice. At the end of the day, the buyer can choose to buy whatever they want. And the builders have massive projects that are not being sold. So there's a situation there. But I'm getting a lot of calls from another type of buyer, pre-construction condo buyer, that has their unit that they bought pre-construction closing in 1 and 2 years from now. They've already decided they don't want this unit anymore. They purchased at $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 a square foot. And they're seeing what the market is doing now, and they're not seeing the value. They're not seeing, when my condo closes in 1 year or 2 years from now, like, why do I want to buy that, close on that, invest my money in that, when the resale market is really helping with predicting where these prices should be? We're seeing a big change in pricing right now. We're seeing a big change in what buyers are prepared to buy right now. So when I look at the pre-construction business, and I'm getting calls from buyers who have decided now they don't want to close in 1 or 2 years, it's very different from the first type of buyer I spoke about that I worked with, the buyer that, should I buy pre-construction or should I buy resale? That buyer has a choice. This other buyer that is worried about what's the market going to be like in 1 and 2 years from now, they're stuck. They've signed an agreement of purchase and sale. They've paid deposit money. They're like headed down this journey. And the builder that's building this unit for them, or building all these apartments and condos for them, they're building knowing when it comes time to close, when we got to get the money from these buyers, they know that they have an uphill battle. They know we are going to be closing on units we sold at $1,500, $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 a square foot. And there's others available for sale at a fraction of that price. There's a storm coming. I don't think there's anything we can do about this storm, but it's on the horizon. We see it coming. And as these condos close in 1 and 2 years, buyers, what are they going to do? Even if they want to close, are they going to be able to? Is the value going to be there? What are the builders going to do when they've got these massive projects that they're closed on? They're committed. I'm not talking about a builder introducing a new project and doesn't get the sales and decides to scrap the project. I'm talking about they're committed. They've broken ground. Just like the buyer's committed down this journey, the builder is committed down this journey. They're going to build these, and come closing time, what's going to happen? This is what's on the horizon in the condo industry. And I'm speaking to buyers now that have decided They do not want to close in 1 or 2 years from now. I'd love to hear from your perspective, your comments of what you feel about what I'm talking about, or just where the condo market's going to be in the next couple of years. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. There's a link up here. There's a link in the description. The link is to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Here we go, folks. Let's take a close look at the condo market. Now, these are for condo apartments only, no condo townhouses. And we're going to be focused on the City of Toronto prices. We're going to be focused on York region and Peel region. Here's a quick summary of average sold price. Peel, way down here. Toronto is in the middle, kind of, sort of. And York region prices are climbing. They're much higher than what the City of Toronto average prices are. Let's start off with City of Toronto for week ending September 4th. Before I get into that, please just keep in mind that September 4th, right in the middle there, is the Labor Day long weekend. It's one of the bigger, I'll say, or more celebrated long weekends that we have. There's a lot going on with, back to school and so forth. And so September 4th, that's what we're talking about now. The data for September 4th, keep it in mind that it was Labor Day long weekend. So for week ending September 4th, 109 condo apartments were sold. 10 of those were at $1 million or more. Sales have been trending down. It's normal. At this time of year, we see that often. Now, I'm also stepping back because I get people on comments saying, hey, Santo, you're blocking part of the chart with your head. I can't help it. So I'm trying to get out of the way to show you. Fall last year, we kind of peaked in prices and volume, kind of the end of September, beginning of October, sales volume, and then it kind of went downhill towards the end of the year, towards Christmas. And it's similar with prices. They climbed and then they kind of trended down towards Christmas. We see this typically every fall. We just never really know when it happens until we're on the other side of it. So when are prices, if they're going up, when, how long is it going to last? We don't know. But it's kind of what we expect. Seasonally, it happens almost every year. But right now, 109 were sold. 10 were at $1 million or more. Average sold price, it has climbed up from where we were last year to $676,000. But overall, prices for condos are trending down, I would say aggressively, actually. They've really been coming down quite a bit. Compared to last year, 676 is 6% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 3% lower. The dotted line, the 4-week moving average, shows that prices are trending down. 109 were sold, 17% sold at list price or more. If we look back over 3 months, 25, 30% selling at list price or more. Right now we're at 17%. Listings, 659 were listed. The previous week, the last week of August, 488 were listed. So a big jump from where listings were to where new listings are now. Before that, listings were trending down, but now they're up. And just a quick remark on active listings. There's 5,007 available condos for sale. 109 actually sold. Basically, 2.2% of all the condos for sale sold for week ending September 4th. So in 1 week, 2.2% of the condos sold. That's a really low percentage. For the detached market, it's 4.7% that sold, which is still not great, but more than double than where we are right now with the condo market. Months of inventory climbed up to 10.6 months of inventory. Let's look at Toronto broken down as a whole, and you start kind of looking at this and looking at months of inventory. We're sitting at 10.6. You know, you look at some of the neighborhoods, downtown months of inventory, 10.3 months of inventory. High Park, Parkdale, it's over a year, 6.6 months of inventory. Willowdale, Bayview, 10.5 months of inventory. Scarborough, a little bit better at 8.7. York Mills, Rosedale, only 6 condo towns sold there. It's Midtown, 22.1 months of inventory. Etobicoke, hey, not bad at 5.9 months of inventory, and 20 condos were sold in the Etobicoke area. Let's look at York region. Only 14 condos were sold. One of those was at $1 million or more. Average sold price, though, did shoot up to $739. I would say, though, when there's only 14 that sold, and I look at the breakdown, there's a large number, a large percentage of those condos that were in the higher price point, just under $1 million. And so buyers are buying the larger condos that are out there, and that's what's helping to bring average prices up to where they are now. Kind of looks like over the last 2 months or so, average prices trending up. That's because it's more of the larger condos that are being purchased right now. That seems to be the trend. Compared to last year, $739, it's 2% lower year over year. The median price is 3% higher. 14 were sold. 29% of those sold at list price or more. Listings, from 1 week to the next, listings are up with only 14 sales, 1.7%. Just 1.7% of all condos available in York region sold for week ending September the 4th. Months of inventory, based on the low sales, we have over a year. We've got 13.9 months of inventory. What that basically means is if we continue to buy at the current rate, based on how many units are available for sale right now, so we're not adding more, we're not removing any listings. Buying at the current rate, we have almost 14 months. That's how long it would take us to buy up all the units available for sale. At the current rate we're buying, which was 14. Sorry, which was it 4? Excuse me. Yes, it was 14 sales and basically 14 months of inventory. We're at 13.9. Here is Peel condos. Now, I'm talking about Peel condos, but the majority of these are in Mississauga. So for week ending September the 4th, 15 condos were sold. It was a Labor Day weekend. Keep that in mind. 15 condos were sold. None of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price way down to $531,000. $531 is 14% lower year over year. The median price is 13% lower year over year. The median price and the average sold price, pretty much the same. 15 were sold. None of them sold at list price or more. And listings are up from 86 to 98. 1.9% of the condos available for sale actually sold for week ending September the 4th. Months of inventory, way up there at 11.9. Let's round that to 12. We have a year's worth of inventory right now on the market if we continue to buy at the current rate that condos are being sold at. Here's a quick summary. Folks, we're in a buyer's market when it comes to condos. Like, it's not even a close buyer's market. We'll say, a balanced market is between 3 to 5 months of inventory. North of 5 is a buyer's market. We're way up there with the current months of inventory. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.